Let's take a minute and go back to our definition of the imaginary unit. Remember, what we said was that I is equal to the square root of the negative or -1. So when we take the square root of the negative portion of a negative number, that is equal to I. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this basic definition and I'm going to do some algebra by squaring both sides. Well, on the left, that gives us I squared. And on the right, what happens to a square root and a squared? What are those two things designed to do? Well, they're designed to undo one another or cancel each other out. So we're left with just what's under that square root, which is a -1. And so we get a very, very, very important thing, and that is I squared is equal to -1. This is probably the most important part of imaginary numbers when it comes to our next step, which will be addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Why would this be important? Well, think of it this way. If we have 3i times 4i, what is that? Well, 3 times 4 is 12, and I times I is I squared. But remember, complex numbers must be a plus bi. You cannot have an I squared. Well, how do we get rid of the I squared? Well, what is I squared equal to? It's equal to -1. So we have 12 times I squared, but I squared is equal to -1. So we'll have 12 times -1, which is -12. So two imaginary numbers multiplied here gave us a real number solution. And we're going to use that information as we go on to the next steps.